Our parliamentary correspondent joins us on the telephone. Ebenezer, if you can hear me now, what exactly has the finance minister been talking about with respect to exactly how much government needs for the rest of the year?
Oh, thank you, Alfred. We saw in Parliament, and the Minister of Finance is reviewing the 2016 budget, and in effect, he is asking for 1.888 billion cedis as a supplementary estimate to fund the 2016 budget. Thus, he says, is from the backdrop of challenges in both global and local markets. He's from the background that crude oil has declined from the time he read the 2016 budget. The benchmark price was $53.06 per barrel. That is what he used for the budget estimate, and now it's less than that amount. In fact, in the first half of the year, it went down to around $32 per barrel. And he's also saying that revenues, local revenue, the target was 11 billion cedis, and they managed to get 10.3 billion cedis, and this warrants that they review and ask for more money to fund government program.
I see. Now, so what are the projects or the reasons that he's outlined to justify this 1.88 billion that he is asking for the rest of the year?
Yes, the first one, some of that money will be used to refinance domestic debt. Then you know that we also have some projects going on that help the country consolidate its fiscal discipline and the gains that have been made. So basically, they will be using the money to restructure some of the domestic debt and put some into infrastructure development. But the question a lot of people are asking now, is it this time that we need such a budget, a review, such a huge amount, when we know we are in an election year? Some people are asking what happens to handing over notes and other stuff from the government in power. If they are still going to roll out new projects, then how do they account for when they have to spend handing over notes?
Now, has he touched on the electricity or power situation as yet? Because we've been hearing from the West African Gas Pipeline Company Limited as to exactly why they've cut supply of gas to Ghana. Has he touched on that as yet? And what are plans to pay off that debt?
What the minister said is that they will be going onto the capital market to source funds. That means there's going to be more borrowing. And he said some of that money will be used to repay VRA debt that will make us get some sustainable power. And he said to repay that amount that they get from the capital market, what they are going to do is to tax. So we should be expecting more taxation coming up. He touched on programs to make sure that pensions are paid, but he didn't give the details. So he mentioned arrears, which he never gave details of whatever is owed to different groups and institutions. So that is the situation we have now. We're still standing by to see if we can get him or any member of the finance subcommittee to talk to get some details.
Okay, very finally, before I let you go, we know that in 2015, we projected a certain 3.5% GDP growth rate. We ended up with 3.9%. Now, in the 2016 budget, we have about 4.5% GDP growth rate. Has that been maintained or reviewed as yet?
Yes, that 4.3 he has maintained. He said that target will be reached and the nation is on course.
Very well, thank you. Ebenezer Jacob Boateng is parliamentary correspondent there, giving us details of what the finance minister said Tekpe has been talking about. Away from that, the India government is investing $2 million into a pilot research project. The joint project between Ghana and the Indian government would involve the construction of tomato factory sites at Ada, Kumasi and Navrongo.
The facility has been completed. Work on the research is expected to start in August, where nursing of seeds on a 2.5-acre land would begin. Apart from the project, local farmers will be trained in using modern technology in agriculture to nurse tomato seedlings. be established in Navrongo and Kumasi. The MP for Ada, Comfordoyo Kujugansa, who inspected the site, gave her overview of the project.
After harvesting, they don't even know where to sell their product. Now they send them to the market and they sell it at cheaper price. At time before they will get there, it's rotten. Now this project is coming to help them get the good seedling and then get good tomato that they are going to process, and we can keep some of this tomato, and when it's off-season, we send it to the market.
Meanwhile, the second lorry terminal in Ada had been paved. Traders and drivers said the terminal previously was inaccessible anytime it rained.
So that's it for business this afternoon. We'll be back with some sports news. My name is Alfred Akansi. Have a good afternoon.